So good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well. So Urdu is also coming. Yeah. So we are going to uh, start a new lesson. So first, let me share my screen. So we are going to start uh, our new lesson, system administration. These are the learning outcomes of this subject. Um So understanding what is system administration and its importance, and understanding the roles and responsibilities of a system administrator. And we are going to look into different operating systems, Linux, Windows, and you need to be familiar with basic system administration tasks and uh, best practices in system administration. So first tell me, what is a system? So we define a system as a group of items working together to achieve a common goal that we call as a system. A group of items or people or processes working together to achieve a common goal. So that we call as a system. So for an example, think about our circular system, right? So, so it includes heart, our heart, uh, our blood cells, veins, right? All of them working together to pump blood throughout our body, right? So a system is something like that. Multiple items, a group of items working together to achieve a common purpose, right? So then what is an IT system? In the IT system, it is a combination of hardware, software, networks, protocols, and people, right? They also working together to achieve a common goal or organization goal, right? We can define IT system as a set of hardware, software, network, and protocols that working together to uh, support the organization process. It supports in decision making, optimize the production. In the modern day businesses, the IT system is like the heart of the modern business, right? So IT systems helps organizations in monitoring production, the improving productivity, and customer support, likewise, right? Then, so what do we mean by system administration? What do we mean by system administration? So administration is then, as name implies, it means something about monitoring, right? So system administration refers to the process of managing, configuring, maintaining, and troubleshooting the IT system, administrating the IT system that we call as system administration. Right. So then who is a system administrator? Or we call sysadmin. System admin is the job role for that purpose, to administrate the IT system, right? So he is the person responsible for configuring the entire IT infrastructure of the organization. So it includes hardware, software, operating systems, and necessary IT support for the business, everything included, right? So the key aspects, these are the key aspects of system administration: managing hardware and software, the user access control, network administration, security compliances, backups, disaster recovery techniques, and performance optimization. Right. So as a system administrator, these are the key concepts you should master. Right. So first thing is desktop troubleshooting. You need to have an idea about the troubleshooting. Then the uh, operating systems, server operating systems, client operating systems. Then the user access control, right, with Active Directory, LDAP, and you need to have an idea about virtualization, then networks, then the automation and scripting, and about cloud, right? So these are the things you need to master to become a system administrator, right? So so this course will mostly be a practical based class, right? Practical based course. So the first concept we are going to talk is about is virtualization. So what is virtualization in what is virtualization? Imagine you have a company, right? You have a company, uh, and you 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 have, let's say you have an e-commerce business, right? You are doing so let's say some you are selling some items, right? So you will be having a, let's say, a website, right? A web application where you do the uh, the purchase management, right? Let's say clients can log into a system and purchase items, then purchase items, then the let's say your employees can log into the system and the process that order, right? To host that application, you need to have a server, right? So you need to have a server, right? Let's imagine now you want another system for your organization, let's say for your inventory management, right? So you have built another system and you need to host that application also, right? You need to host that application also, right? So what will be the solution? You may think, oh, I need to purchase another server, right? So but that will be not cost effective, right? Because you, let's see, in your previous server, the application currently running only using 50%. Another 50% is remaining, right? So if you purchase another server, that will be a waste of your resources, right? So what if there is a way where you can use the same resource to host these multiple uh, applications, right? So the solution is virtualization. Virtualization is the process of creating a virtual version of the computing resources, right? So rather than purchasing another server, what you can do is on top of the existing server, you create two virtual computers. Physically, they are not there, but virtually they act as two separate computers on top of one server, right? So, since they act as two separate uh, computers, you can host uh, both of your applications in the same server. So virtualization maximize the hardware efficiency and reduce cost and uh, enhance the flexibility and improve disaster recovery. So there are two approaches to achieve virtualization, right? First thing is virtual machines and second one is containerization. So a virtual machine is an emulation of a physical computer. It will have its own operating system, right? So it acts as a separate computer. First one we call as bare metal and second one is hosted. Bare metal means machine run directly on the hardware. Virtual, the hypervisor directly runs on the hardware. Example are Microsoft Hyper-V. So they directly share the hardware, like let's say memory, they directly share that. And type 2 is hosted. Hosted means in on top of your uh, infrastructure, there will be a host operating system and hypervisor, the software, let's say virtual box, right? So using the software, we create virtual machines. First, I need you to go to Oracle VirtualBox, the website Oracle VirtualBox, right? Then you can download the Windows installer. So according to your operating system you are using, download the operating system, right? Then you can install the downloaded setup file. Right? Keep these as default. Continue. Click next. The software got installed. Right. So using this software VirtualBox, we are going to create virtual machines. Right. So now I want you to download Ubuntu ISO file. Right. The Ubuntu operating systems ISO file. First, when we are learning about system administration, we need to have a good understanding about different operating systems. So let's download the Ubuntu operating system. So you can go to Ubuntu downloads and download the operating system. So after downloading, we will create a new virtual machine with this VirtualBox software, right? So let's name it as Ubuntu and let's select a folder to create the VirtualBox, right? And for this instance, keep the ISO image as not selected, then click next. And we can allocate the hardware, right? So I'm allocating the RAM for the virtual machine as let's say 4 GB, then processor, 2 GPUs, right? Then click on enable EFI. Then I'm allocating let's say 25 GB for the virtual machine and click on pre-allocated space. Now we can finish. Then our virtual machine will get created. So this will get created on top of our existing operating system. Right. Now our virtual machine got created. Now we need to install the Ubuntu operating system in this machine. Right. So let's go to settings. And in advanced, select shared clipboard as bidirectional and drag and drop as bidirectional. So this will allow us to copy from the host OS to the virtual OS and otherwise as well. And the select untick the boot floppy from the boot order and make optical the first priority. So in the storage, now my CD is optical drive is showing as empty. So here now I want to select the OS, right? ISO file. So now select the ISO file we downloaded, the Ubuntu ISO file, right? I have downloaded it to this location. Right. Select the ISO file, right? Uh, so you can keep other things as default. So we have make our bootloader. First was the CD drive, then click OK. The process got aborted and I had an issue. So it's saying VTX disabled in the BIOS for all CPU models. What the error says? Error says in the BIOS, VTX is something as VTX is disabled. So to solve this issue, go to your settings. Then go to update and security. Under recovery, here in advanced setups, click restart now. So then you will get this blue screen, and here in troubleshoot, go to advanced options, then go to UEFI firmware settings, then restart the computer. Press F10 before the OS load. Press F10 and go to BIOS settings, and under security, enable VTX. Save changes and exit. Right. So now let's try to install Ubuntu again in our virtual machine, right? So start the virtual machine as a normal start. Okay. Now the VM got power up without any issue. Here click try installing Ubuntu. So the operating system is getting started to install in this virtual machine. So based on your computer performance, it will take some time. Then you can do it like a normal installation. Right. The operating system got installed. Uh, let's give it a restart. It's still trying to load from the CD. So we need to change the boot order, or we can eject the CD as well. So let's go to the boot order and change it. Let's make hard disk the first priority. Then let's start. So, that- so this is a virtual computer, right? It act as a it act as its own computer, right? So yeah, now we can log in by giving the password. Right. In actual scenario, there can in a server computer there is multiple virtual machines, right? So you can use VirtualBox or VMware to create virtual machines, right? So in the industry, they use both like VMware and VirtualBox, right? So right, the OS got installed. Right. Now let's see some basic Linux commands to do some activities. Open the terminal. First, type the command uname -a. So it will give the user details. Then uh, uptime. Uptime gives uh, the details about the uh, the operating system's uptime, right? Then I want to see all the file directories, right? I want to see the file directories. So type ls. So let's first clear these two things. Okay. Now, first command, I want to check uh, all the file directories. That means in Windows, we have files, right? In Windows, we have files. In Linux, we we call them directories. We have the root directory, then the other directory. So it's following a tree structure. So on top of the structure, we have the root, and under root, we have the other directories. Right? It's following a tree-like architecture. Exact path using pwd command, we can get the exact path. So now I am in here, right? Now I'm in here. Now I want to create another directory. So I'm using the command mkdir make directory. let's name it as ENC. So you can see a new directory got created, a file got created, right? Now I want to go inside that directory. So continue directory ENC, continue to directory ENC, right? Now let's see the path. Now I am in the root directory under ENC. Now I am in the ENC directory, ENC folder, right? Now let's create another directory. Let's name it as system sysadministration lect, right? Right. Now let's list under ENC folder. It only have sysadmin lect folder. Now let's continue to that directory. Under this folder, I want to create another directory. Under this directory, I want to create another directory. So let's create dir make directory. Let's name it as week 1. Right. Now I want to continue to that directory week 1. Right. So this is the location I'm at. This is the exact location, right? From the GUI view, I'm here. I'm here, right? So now I want to create a text file, right? Text file. So use the command touch. So I want to create a word file. Word file means a text file. Text file have a .txt extension, right? So I'm saying touch. So I have created the .txt file here. Right. Now let's see what's inside the week 1 folder or the directory. Right. It has a text file as myfile.txt. So I can open it with the notepad and write some text. Right. Okay. So what I want to do is, rather than doing it like this, I want to insert some text into this file using the terminal. So I'm using command vim myfile.txt. So that means I'm trying to open this file with vim, right? Okay. I'm getting an error as command vim not found, but can install with sudo apt install vim. Right. That means I have to install this package. The command for installing a package is apt install. Apt install. Sudo means I'm giving the admin privileges. So as an admin, I'm saying install this package in this computer, right? Here, this apt is the package manager, right? Package manager. So it will try to download this package from this apt, so Linux package management system, and it will download this and install this Vim package in this computer, right? So sudo means I'm executing this command as an admin, right? Then install Vim package from the apt package manager, right? So there is another package manager as snap, right? Snap is something created by Ubuntu. So Ubuntu distributor, it will be, right, the command will be sudo snap install, right? So I'm trying to install this Vim package now. Sudo apt install Vim. Okay. So since I'm executing the command as an admin, it's asking me the password. Try. Yes. Yes, I want to install this package. It's trying to download and install the software. All right, I got an error, right? Read the error. Error says fail to fetch http archive ubuntu.com ubuntu world library fail to fetch this Debian file from this URL. In Windows, we have the .exe file to install the software, right? Likewise here, he's trying to download some packages, download some set of files and try to install this in this virtual machine, but it is failed to fetch. It is failing to download this set of files, right? So let's see what's the issue, right? So the issue was my virtual machine is unable to connect with the internet, right? Under settings, go to network settings and make this NAT. Make this NAT, right? Then start the VM again, right? Now I will go to the file ENC go to sysadmin-lect directory. So this directory has week 1. So I want to go inside that continue directory week 1 and ls it as my file.txt. So now let's check whether we can access the internet or not. So to do that, I'm using a command as ping -c for let's make a request. So here this ping command will do something like this, right? So we know, right? So it will make uh, 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 it will send some packet Like when in networking you may learn that the data is transmitting as packets, right? So here this will send a packet to the let's say I want a network, so I want to check whether my computer can connect communicate with someone else's computer. So I can make a ping. I can make a ping to that person's IP. So that what that do is it will send a packet to that particular IP address and listen for the response. So here I want to check whether my virtual machine can communicate with the internet. So I'm making a ping. I'm making a ping to Google. Let's make to google.com. So to this URL, he will make a he will send a packet and listen for the response, right? So right. So he is sending a packet 64 bytes from this, and he's listening, right? So he's saying 4 packets transmitted and 4 packets received. The packet loss was 0. So the packets I sent got received, right? So that means I can communicate with the google.com. That means I can communicate with internet, right? Understood? Right, right. Since now I can communicate with the internet, now I can install the software, the package. PT install Vim. From the apt package manager, install Vim. Right. Yes. Right. Now it's got connected and now it's downloading. You can see fetched. Fetch means download is completed. Then it's installing. It got successfully installed. So now let's try to open that file. So vim my underscore file dot txt. Right. So I can open the file with my terminal now. So I will insert some text. So press insert, and now I can type. Let's type hello world. Right. So right. So then save it. Right. So to see whether the file got updated, I can use cat my file dot txt. So the text, the content under my file dot txt is hello world, right? So I can open and update. So insert some content or some text to the file with the terminal, right? Right. Right. So let's create another text file. So my file dot dot txt, right? So right now let's see what's inside this file. There is 2 text files, right? Now I want to delete a text file. So I can use remove my file to .txt, right? Right. So now the file is deleted, right? So I will go back one from one. I will go back a one directory, right? So uh, so uh, I'm saying continue back one. So now I'm in the sysadmin lect directory. So inside that it has a folder or one directory as week one. So let's create another directory as week two. Right now it has two directories. So I want to delete this week two directory. So I say remove -r week two. So I can remove a directory like that, right? Right. So now I'm trying to do something like this, right? So in this virtual machine or in this computer, it has only a one user, right? So now I want to create another user for uh, this computer, right? So first check who is using this, who is the user. So I can write who am I, right? The user is Chamidu. Now, so I want to get his full details. So can use at uh, uh, slash uh, etc password. So these are the details of the user. So now I want to create another user. Sudo add user. Let's name it as Kasu. Right? I want to create another user as Kasu. Right? It's asking the password since I'm executing this as a administrator. Right? So he's asking a new password for the user Kasu. So I will give a password. Right. It's asking to retype the password. So I will retype the password and give full name soon. Ratna. So other details I keep as default. So just press enter. Right. Yes. So now I have created another user. Right. So now I want to switch to uh, now now I am Chamidu. I looking as Chamidu. Now I want to switch the user. So I'm saying switch user Kaso SU Kaso switch to the user Kaso. So now let's see who am I. I'm now Kaso. Right. So I will move back to the previous user. Right. Now I want to delete the previous user. Right. So I'm saying sudo delete user. Awesome. Okay, so it gives me an error. Return the user Kasumi is currently used by process 3827. So before deleting, I need to end this process. So I'm saying sudo kill -9 393827. That will first create the kill the process. Now I can delete the user. Sudo kill delete user password, right? And the user is removed, right? So what is an operating system? The operating system is a collection of software that manages computers hardware like memory, CPU. Likewise, operating system is a collection of software that manages computers hardware and applications by allocating resources. Resources are the memory, CPU, file storage, likewise, right? So the popular operating systems are Windows, uh, Linux, Mac OS are the main three operating systems, right? Now let's discuss about server, right? Server. So in under web application development, we discuss the client server architecture, right? So we created a web application and uh, we create the web application and we saw there are clients who using their browser make the requests and they can access the application, right? So right in web application we discuss there is like uh, mainly two type of applications, like web applications and uh, desktop applications, right? So here I am doing this presentation with Microsoft PowerPoint, right? So to use this software, I have installed it in my computer, right? So that kind of software are called the standalone application. So to use that application, what I have to do, I have to install the setup file, then I can use that uh, use that software, right? So now think about Facebook. Now think about Facebook. So to use Facebook from my laptop, do I need to install Facebook in my computer? No, right? So I can open my browser and type www.facebook.com and I can access that Facebook application. So right. So those type of applications are called web applications. Those type of applications are called web applications. So these kind of applications so work like the application is hosted on somewhere on a computer. So as a user, I'm trying to when I'm trying to use that application, what I do is I am making a request to that particular server and that server process that request and send me the response, right? So there's a client server architecture. So in that case, I'm the client. I'm making a request to the Facebook's server, right? So the Facebook server process that request and send me the response. So a server is essentially a software or a machine that provide services to other software or machines. That means to clients, right? As an example, a web server stores contents to clients to access through the internet. So there's not only like web servers, there is SSH servers, uh, likewise domain servers. There are many server types. So email servers, likewise. Typically, any computer can be a server, right? Any computer can be a server, but right, let's say here my computer, my laptop can be a server. So in the previous example, you remember we have a, like, let's say we have a I'm running a e-commerce application, e-commerce website. Yeah. So I'm using this computer. I will make this computer the server. I will make this computer to host my application. So will that work, right? Yeah, it will work. But so this computer's performance is low, and uh, so when many clients try to access uh, my application, this computer will not be able to handle, and so I will not be able to do any other tasks using this laptop, right? So because the my the application need to be 24/7 running, so I can't do that, right? So therefore there are dedicated computers. We call them server computers, right? So they are dedicated as, like, they are powerful. They have powerful hardware to run 24/7, and so because the servers need to be running 24/7, they have uh, powerful and reliable hardware, and right, so we call them server computers, right? So server hardware comes in different forms. We can see uh, towers, racks, plates, likewise. So as a system admin, your main tasks will be to manage these server computers, right? We can divide operating systems into two as well, right? There are client operating systems. Like here I'm using Windows. So this is Windows. This is Windows operating system, right? This is a Windows operating system, right? So this is a client operating system, right? And there are operating systems who are dedicated to operating systems who are dedicated to run on servers, right? So we call them server operating systems. So a server operating system is an advanced operating system designed to run on servers, right? It has necessary features and subsystems to operate in a client-server architecture and serve clients' requests. So, unlike client operating systems, server operating systems is optimized for scalability, security, and remote administration. So mainly the common operating systems, server operating systems are, we have Windows Server, so created by Windows, right? It has features like Active Directory, Group Policy, Hyper-V, DNS, DHCP, IIS, Web Server. Then we have Linux servers, mainly the organizations are using Windows servers as well as Linux servers, right? So uh, the Windows server is come with the user interface as well as the command interface, and Linux systems There are Ubuntu servers, Red Hat servers, and CentOS. Right? It has Nginx, SSH, uh, um, uh, MySQL support likewise. So all the things we do from the Windows server can be done by the Linux servers as well. So they have their own advantages and disadvantages. So based on our requirement, we decide what operating system we are going to use, right? So let's try to get some idea about the Windows server, right? Windows server. So Windows Server operating system. So I want you to download this ISO file and right. So now let's try to create another virtual machine and try to install this server operating system and get some idea about the server operating system as well, right? Right. So I'm creating a new uh, host server. Right. So then I will select a folder to save this virtual machine. Um, uh, select it in E. New folder. Let's name it as Windows server VM. Right. Yeah. Select it and click next. Okay. Don't select the ISO image yet. And I will allocate 4 GB for the RAM and two processors and click enable EFI and I will allocate 100 GB for the memory and tick pre-allocate full size. Next and finish. Right. Right. Now the VM is getting created. Okay, our VM got created. Now go to advanced and select shared clipboard and drag and drop as bidirectional and boot order remove floppy disk and make optical the first priority and keep other things as default and go to storage and in the optical drive select the image as the ISO file, Windows Server ISO file that we download, right? Okay, then click OK. Then start the server. So it will try to install the operating system from that ISO file, right? Give it a normal start. Right. So the language, select it as US. The keyboard method, you can keep it as US. Then click next and install, right? Right here, if we have four options, right? Standard, desktop experience, data center, and data desktop experience. So here, uh, in under desktop experience, we will get a UI, user interface, right? Like like our client operating system, client Windows operating system, we will get a user interface. So otherwise, the other option, it will only have the command line, right? So we have to do everything with the commands, right? Right, like we did in the commands of Ubuntu. We have to do it. We have to do everything with commands. So here, let's first go with the desktop experience. Uh, Select desktop experience. Then go with uh, custom. So I want only to install the Windows. Right. Right. So the uh, the operating system code is getting installed, right? Now you can give a password, right? So this is the welcome. So this is the initial screen we get. So here, when if you so to unlock, we need to press this key combination. But if you try to since we are using a virtual machine, if we press this key combination with our keyboard, the VM will not take this, right? So, so you have to go to this input keyboard, then press insert Control Alt D, then you can log in with the given password. Server operating system is looks like. In an IT system, the servers can have different roles, right? So one can be a database server, one can be a web server, and one can use as our system Active Directory. Likewise, so so if it is a database server, we create our uh, uh, databases and everything. We create our databases in that in that server, right? So, and if it is a web server, we configure this as a web server, we can use this server to host web applications, right? Can use this host web application. Then we can configure this as a mail server, right? So if it is a mail server, we can use this to uh, we can use this as our mail server, right? Right. So we can, after the operating system get installed, we can give this server different roles and responsibilities, right? Right. So I'm going to add roles and add roles. Then role-based feature installation, tick role-based feature installation. Then click next. So server I want to install, and here I'm going to install the Active Directory domain services. So what is Active Directory? What is Active Directory? Active Directory domain services, right? So Active Directory is by VQ permission. So we using Active Directory, we can do role management, right? We can give users the roles, right? As an example, like think think about a IT system of a banking system, right? In a bank, there can be many users, right? So the HR department, the tellers, and the loan section, and the management, top management, likewise. So they will be using different, like they will be in the IT network, right? So we won't give them the permissions, right? We won't give them the permissions, right? Let's say uh, our teller, right? He's the person who is responsible for taking the cash. So, like if you go to the bank and let's say you want to deposit some money, so give it to that person, and he will deposit that amount to your account, right? Using his using his IT, is using his computer, right? Using his given computer. So this person should have some different permissions and restrictions, right? What if, like, do you think that he should be able using his computer, whether he should be able to browse internet? No, right? We need to restrict that. And uh, whether he should be able to uh, plug USB devices to his computer? No, right? So if we can plug USB devices to his computer, our sensitive data can get leaked, right? So there is a threat. So we need to restrict that as well, right? So likewise, for different users in our organization, we need to give privileges and restrictions, right? So that we call as user management, right? User management, the IT systems, user management, right? So like authorizing and like authorizing users likewise, right? So that we can do that with Active Directory, right? So what computers have what sort of permission? We can give permissions and restrictions with this Active Directory. So we can configure this server as our Active Directory domain service. So all the features got installed. Now we can configure this server as our Active Directory, right? So what if, no, I don't want this to be my Active Directory. I want this to be a web server, right? So, how can I make this a web server, right? So again, go to roles and features and click next, right? So here, uh, I'll check web server. I want this to be a web server. Click next and next. So you can see, right? So if it is a web server, he should be Okay. He should be able to handle HTTP requests, right? If it is a web server, he should be able to handle HTTP requests. So I'm giving those. I'm giving those privileges, right? So this can be act as a web server, right? So I want to do something like this. Like in our web application development lesson, you can remember we created a web application, right? So now let's try to host that application in this server. This was the application we created. Open it with Visual Studio and open the solution file. First, let's run this. So we were building a employee management system, right? Web-based employee management system. Yeah, this is our login. So, right. So these are the username and password, right? So I will give the username and the password. So I was the admin, and there was two roles, admin and the employee, right? Uh, so this was the web application we created, right? So shows the admin dashboard, and I can, as an admin, I can view employees, right? Right. So now let's try to host this application in the server, right? In the server, right? So first we need to uh, build the solution. Okay, click on build solution. So this will build the application. Then publish the application, right? Here publish to a folder, select folder. So then this will create some files and create some files in a folder. Click finish. Okay, successfully built and successfully published, right, in this location, right. Let's go file and yeah, these files got created, right? Right. Now when I'm trying to host, uh, I need to copy these files to the web server. So, right, web server, right? So, right, right now start the server. Insert control delete. Okay, give the password. Okay. Right. Right. Now the server got started. Right. Right. Now I want to host that application in this server. Right. So we have installed the IIS server. Right. So in here under this PC, go to the C drive and go to the folder init pub, netpub, and I want to paste these files here, right? I want to copy paste this file to here from this host machine to the virtual machine. Right, it gives me an error. Drag and drop operations from host to guest is failed, right? Okay, let's check what are the details. So drag and drop to guest, drop, drag and drop to guest not possible, right? The reason is either the guest OS does not support this or guest additions are not installed. It's saying that guest additions are not installed. Right. So we need to install this guest additions. Here, insert guest additions, right? So then uh, a software will get loaded into your CD drive. Then you can install that software. Okay, so it's asking to reboot the server. Okay, reboot. So now let's try to copy the published files to this server. File Explorer, www, the initpub folder. Right. So now uh, let's try to drag and drop this folder. So the file got copied to the server. Right. Uh, yeah. Now, since we have installed the IIS server, open IIS server. Right. Using this application, we can host uh, web forms, C# web applications in this server, right? So right here, right under sites, create a new website. Your site name as employee management system, and for the physical part, they are asking where the build files are, where are the build files, right? So we copied them to the we copied them in a pub folder. So www root under. So these are the files, the project we did, right? And I can give a select the IP address of the current IP, and I can give a code, and I can give a name for the site as well. So making it as employee management system, right? Right. Now click OK. Right. Now click OK. Right. Simple, right? We can easily host an application. So, right, then let's do a restart, and let's browse. Okay, so okay, close this. Right. Uh, since this is using HTTP, this is giving me error. So to make this HTTPS, we have to bind a certificate with this with bind a certificate. So that's why it's giving me this error. So click OK. Right. It's saying can't read the page. Uh, so go to basic settings. Uh, so so go to bindings. First, let's try removing this host name. Sometimes it can give errors. Let's restart and browse. Now it's giving me a detailed error. And the default document is not configured for the requested URL. Right. We have not given a default document. So in our web application, what was the default page? Default page was default.aspx file, right? So we need to give the default document here. Right. So we can add the new default document. And add default.aspx file. And this is our default file. Right. Right. Now let's restart again, and let's rerun the now it's giving me another error. So it's saying the page you are requesting cannot be served because of extension configuration. If the page is a script at the handler, if, if the file should be downloaded at MIME map. So most likely because it's saying ASP.NET is not installed in the server, right? So we need to install these things. So when you get an error, by reading that error, right? So carefully read that error. So then you can find what's the cause. I had to install these things, right? ASP.NET 4.7, IIS, IIS API extension, IIS API filters, right? Right. Then click next, and install these things, right? Hopefully this will fix the error. It's giving me a different error, right? Read the error. Now it's giving me a different error. It's saying internal server error. the requested page cannot be accessed because the related configuration data for the page is invalid. So it's saying configuration data is invalid. Configuration data is in the web.exe XML file, web.config.xml file. So to solve this, I had to add this code snippet, right? So system.webserver default document files clear, and I have to define the what's the default uh, document in the uh, XML file, right? So that was the solution, right? So when you get this kind of error, you can obviously use ChatGPT and search the internet and uh, do the necessary, right? So that's what we do, right? So, right? As a system administrator, you are trying to solve problems, right? So that's your responsibility for system developer or a IT professional or the or a, or a software developer. What you do is you are trying to create software solutions. Ultimately, software is a solution for a real world problem, right? So when you get some these kind of problems, you can use ChatGPT, Stack Overflow, so spend some time with the system, with the project, and you will get the solution, right? So in this case, this was the solution, right? So close it and update the web.config file in the server, right? We need to update this web.config file. So I delete it and copy the updated XML file. Hopefully now we can run the application. So right, our web application would start. That means we hosted our application in the we configured the server as a web server and hosted an application in the server. So what we learned today, we learned what is the IT system, what is mean by IT system administration, what are the responsibilities of IT system administrator. So then uh, so as a administrator, you need to be able to have a solid understanding of different operating systems, basically with Linux and Windows, both, and then the virtualization concepts, and then the concept about networking, Active Directory, the user management, then automation like uh, shell commands, those things, right? So today we understood about virtualization, right? So we learned there is two types of virtualization: virtual machines and containerization, right? So we will discuss. We start discussing about virtual machines, right? We uh, so so there were two types of virtual machines, right? Hosted and the bare metal. We understood the difference between the hosted and the bare metal uh, hypervisor. Then we got the hands-on experience on by installing Oracle Virtual Machine, and we created one virtual machine and installed the Ubuntu operating system there. and we learned about the commands, right? How we can use command terminal to do the activities, right? So there we uh, create folders, delete folders, create a drawer, user roles, and we learn about the ping command. We can use ping command to check whether we are connected with that uh, the particular IP, or we or can we access that particular website. Then we understood the difference between a server computer and the client computer. Understood the client server architecture. Servers have different operating systems dedicated for that dedicated to for servers, right? So and so then we install Windows Server in a virtual machine, right? Right. So then we can assign servers some roles, right? It can be a web server, database server, or mail server, or it can be our Active Directory, likewise, right? Then we created a web server and hosted an application there, right? So that's what we did for today, right? In the upcoming weeks, we are going to basically look into some other topics like what is Active Directory, then how can create shell commands and to automate tasks. Then we will get some idea about cloud containerization. Those are very important things. So here we uh, created virtual machines, right? So what if we can't we what if we don't want to purchase actual hardware, right? So the solution will be cloud, using cloud, right? So using cloud means platform as a service, right? So we can rather than keeping our own devices, physical servers and uh, physical servers, we can purchase from different cloud service providers. There are mainly three cloud service providers: Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud, right? So let's see how we can uh, do. We'll get some idea about the cloud as well, right? So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining. So let's find out for today.